Hey Gidges Lake, hope you're having a great week so far. I'm coming to you from Florida. My family and I, we've been down here for a week now, and decided to get away just as a family for a week or two, and we're having a great time. We got to go to SeaWorld on Monday, kind of for Cody's birthday. But it was a great time. We had to wear masks, so that was all fun and hot, and yeah. But the boys had a great time. Saw some shows and rode some rides and stuff. So, but thank you for thinking of us and praying for us while we're away. But I just wanted to share a few words with you this morning, this Wednesday morning, as we're doing our Wednesday in the Word. And today I just wanted to, I'm actually breaking from Romans 8. This week we'll be back hopefully next week in Romans 8, but there's just been some things on my heart, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about just some thoughts that I had, and actually just a verse really from the book of James. In this time that we're in, it's such an unrestful time, and the tensions that are building, the frustrations that people have, and thinking of whatever side you're on this whole issue with, do we keep monuments up, or do we protest, or do we whatever the situation is. The verse that just keeps coming back to me is James chapter 1, book of James. James chapter 1. James, of course, writing and talking about how, when we face temptations or we face trials, and how to go through them with joy, and seeing how God's working through different things. He talks about, in verse 19, and that's really the verse I wanted to share, was, "My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. For man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires." And we've heard this verse hundreds of times, thousands of times, but to think of it in such a way of what's going on right now, every man should be quick to listen and slow to speak. And I can tell you right now, I am not great at that, because you see somebody post something or share something, and my first knee-jerk reaction is just to rattle off a comment, to rattle off a response, and I'm like, that's not God honoring. That's not, seeking a righteous life, seeking to follow God. Like I just read. I was reading in a book, and it talked about how, when you are in a situation, like they was talking about it in a letter form. You write someone a letter, and it said, put that letter in a desk and let it sit for a week, and come back after a week and reread that letter, and if it's still something that you feel that needs to be said, then send it. And something that I recently started was whenever I send an email out in response to someone sending something to me, I put it in the drafts folder and I let it sit, and I come back to it later and I say, is this something that I should have said or not said? And a lot of times I end up changing it. I end up rewriting parts of it, just because something that and I'm guilty of that, because I've engaged people online and Facebook post conversations, and it's like, that's just not what I should do. And so my mind just keeps coming back to this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to get angry. And I love how James wrote it, because it was quick to listen, and not. I think that's something that we're missing right now. I think that's something that we all agree needs to happen more, is listening. Instead of just hearing, listening. because we hear one another, but we don't listen to one another. Uh, when we listen, it means that we're actually listening to what is being said. We're not just trying to format a response to whatever we hear. Uh, but we are quick to listen to someone, listen to what they're trying to say, uh, and in that same instance, slow to speak. Uh, Instead of just firing off a rebuttal, take time and process and think about it. This is what God tells us. It's quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to get angry. For man's anger doesn't work the righteousness of God. And I can tell you, if we're going to reach someone, for Christ, it's not going to be because we made them angry or because we were angry. It's because we listened to them, we got to know them, and we got to understand them, and we showed them love the way Christ shows us love. Romans, we've been talking about coming through this pandemic, this ongoing situation that we're in, and talking about the different ways to know there's no condemnation for us. There's hope for us, and I just think that with this other situations that we're facing, these riotings and protests and racial injustices and things, I think it's important for us to listen to one another. So that's just what I wanted to share with you this week. I hope you're all doing well. Terry spoke last Sunday. He's speaking again this Sunday, and so I hope that you tune in on Sundays and listen to what God has laid upon his heart. What a blessing it was last week to hear about the sheep and the goats, and how we are called by God to do it to others, and boy, the different things that we can do to help one another. So I encourage you to tune in this coming Sunday for the second part of that message. Our plan is to be back July 5th together in person in the church. Chicago, Illinois is supposed to be heading into phase 4 this Friday, and so that means groups of 50 or less can meet together, and of course we're well in that category because it also said in churches, these guidelines are 50% of your, or 25% of your capacity, and our capacity is, I think, 200, which means we are able to meet together free without any worries or anything. I'm working out some guidelines, and I will be sending those in an email, probably in a post update like this as well, with an email just letting you know what you can expect when you come back. The first Sunday, July 5th, and then the next Sunday is the Communion Sunday, and I've got some resources there or some supplies and stuff for communion, so that way you can feel safe still coming and participating in that. But please know that we're taking this each day, and we're walking with Christ, and I've been so excited to be able to share with you and to live this journey with you. I'm so looking forward to being back with you guys on July 5th, and being back with everyone again. I've missed you all so much. Being down here in Florida has been great to be away with the family, but at the same time I do miss being home, and so I can't wait to be back there again. So I hope each of you has a great week. Please, if you need anything, give me a call, a text. If it's something you need emergency, contact one of our board, Marty or Ralph or Ken or Terry, and they can get up with you and help you out in any way that you need. I love you, and have a great day, guys.